more about his company, EONIQ.
I founded EONIQ based on one belief. When quality mechanical watches meets customization, magic happens. Part of that magic is that now watches don't only carry the values of craftsmanship or brand legacies, but they carry everyone's individual stories.
All of our watches are designed for personalization. That's very different from just designing a watch, because a personalizable watch needs to look good on its own, but it also needs to be able to incorporate the customer's story without taking the spotlight away from that story. Thanks to our software team, designing your own watch has never been easier.
Our watches were used as wedding gifts, heirlooms, so they are actually important to a lot of people around the world. And that compelled us to go for a quality standard that is way beyond any fashion watches. It needs to be more than a seasonal fashion statement. It needs to be meaningful and timeless. So that is why when we chose our components, we focus a lot on getting the quality and durability to make sure that our watches can last. And with many iterations and with the help of our international partners, we are now very proud to offer watches that can easily last decades.
At EONIQ, we believe that stories should be told one by one, and that is why a single watchmaker will craft, assemble, test and package the same timepiece. We know that it might not be the most cost efficient, but we really believe that it's the only way to convey your story.
We have shipped over 1,000 watches to 30+ countries. With the experience, prototypes for this new product, and our watchmakers ready to make your watch, we now need your help. With your help, we'll be able to start making these beautiful, unique timepieces for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Yanni. Okay, EONIQ is one of the fast-growing custom watch company in Hong Kong. So, hi, Quinn. How are you?
Hi, not bad, not bad.
I can tell you that I did order from your company in last 30 days, so I'm one of your fans. All right, how are you?
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
Great. I know you studied at Stanford University before you going back to Hong Kong. So what do you miss most in San Francisco Bay Area?
I miss driving. I mean, back there, driving is when it's like when I feel pressured, I want to go relax, I go driving. In Hong Kong, after you drive, then you need to go relax somewhere. So the other way around.
Okay, good. Okay, got it. Okay, so let me ask you some question now. So, due to the global pandemic, many business focus more on e-commerce and digital marketing. What does make EONIQ stand out from the competitor? How does EONIQ transition its business model? Can you share with us?
It's actually quite an interesting story. I thought I'll share a screen real quick to show you guys what we did last year, which actually was like in the worst timing. So we almost basically, I almost closed shop. I'll just tell you that we borrowed money. We wanted to go into offline experiential shopping before last year mid-year. So it was Q1, Q2. So, and after that, we have the social, the revolution, the movement. And after that, we have COVID. So we basically had a good 1 year period where we took hit for anything offline. Now, this screen that I just shared, it's the workshop site of our brand. So the video that you guys saw is like a really old one. When I saw that, it's like, wow, brings back time. It's like a good 4 years ago when I did this. So it's no longer on Indiegogo, so guys don't go search on Indiegogo. But it's interesting to look at when I said those words, when I care about those things, and now it has turned into this company today. It's no longer just 30 countries. We ship to 100 over, or we ship to places where the address is like only country and then city. So there is no street. no building numbers, and the reason is because that guy owned the city. So we ship a watch to that city and it arrives at one person's house apparently. But yeah, so we do ship to different places. But back to the story, last year we shifted a lot of things offline. That was due to the forecast of Facebook getting more expensive, more and more people going to esport. So we thought, okay, we have to go back to the old school way, experience in an offline, where people can try out different things. So we did a lot of tech-enabled offline experience. Like we did videos, we did QR codes and everything to link the experience where people can learn about watchmaking without our staffs being too trained in the space. So we don't, while we can have like 20 to 30 people making watches at one go, we don't need to have like 10 plus watchmakers there guiding them on the steps. So that's kind of what we did. We spent quite a bit of money, and then most of it, it's not like it's down to drain, but we basically couldn't sell anything. Creating a product without the ability to actually go to the press about it, meaning you're kind of shooting it's not like shooting yourself in the foot. You're stuck. You cannot do any marketing on it. So we were pretty stuck last year. So then we thought we shift everything back online. That's what we did earlier this Monday. No, not Monday. Sorry, January and February. We took out our whole marketing effort. We rebuilt it from ground up. We reset our target, and then we started a brand new brand as well. And the new brand that I built basically is DIYWatch.club. And this is where I practically took an EONIQ offline shop experience, and then I put it into a package, and then I just ship it to everyone. So this is, by the way, just disclaimer, right? So I help out big businesses before. I know that there are big businesses taking hit these days. I'm also in the watch and clock AC. So when we do the meeting over here trying to help out brands, we do know that it's a very difficult time. I have the luxury of having a lifestyle business that's kind of small in scale, so I can basically just take down components and start new things within months. So I'm aware that it's difficult out there. Don't want to make this sound overly easy, but for ourselves, right? We basically pack our offline experience, ship it to around the world, and because people are stuck at home, they basically took up on it like real quickly. So now our new brand, the sales is catching up to EONIQ, and after a while with the marketing revamp, EONIQ is also going back a lot more online, and then the growth is also quite significant. So this year, starting from around February, I think, until now, if both brands combined, we grew over 300%. If it's both brands combined. If it's just EONIQ, we went around 150, I would say. So we are cautious to know that this is not going to last forever. So we took on the opportunity. And then now we are immediately shifting our marketing efforts again to plan for the next, not like the next wave, but the next change in the economy. When people can go back out on the street, but with the awareness of shopping online, right? A lot of people pick up that habit of shopping online now. They will likely keep part of it. They might not shift completely away from it. So we're shifting our marketing as well, just knowing that things would change. But yeah, interesting time to be in business.
Great, good to know. So, Quinn, I know that you run different type of business as well, because I know that you organize the workshop for corporate and startup training. Can you share with us what you do? And also, you mentioned in your workshop that is about design thinking, and this is not a method, it's a style. Maybe can you share with us more about it?
Well, a bit difficult to run a workshop in this short time span, but
no, you can give us a concept maybe for a few minutes. This is the challenge because you only have a few minutes.
So my background, I did design thinking in Stanford. In fact, I work for professors like Larry Leifer, Steve Blank, and then Tom Kosnick. So it's quite fun to actually see that even within Stanford, different professors have different interpretation of design thinking. So I think that's, if you guys are looking at design thinking, know that even within Stanford, we have different school of thoughts. And once you go into East Coast and West Coast, now we have very different school of thoughts, but they're all very practical. So MIT and Harvard, for example, have a different approach as well. Now, just look at entrepreneurship. We have take two extremes just to show you guys how different it can be. Within the Larry Lyford camp, so kind of the ME310 exhaustive idea generation camp on design thinking, we want to prototype within 7 seconds. So prototype, not like making a product, but you can draw out something on a piece of paper with a Sharpie. Not a pen because you're going to have too much detail. Use a Sharpie and then you can try to prototype something. Draw a screen out and ask people, would you like this or not? Now, there is something called disciplined entrepreneurship from MIT, which is also design thinking applied on entrepreneurship, which tells you to do almost like a 10 by 10 or 14 by 14 grid on different persona, different possible market segments, and then you apply to each one of them different formulas to figure out whether your product would fit that persona. You can see that this is completely different way of applying design thinking. So know that design thinking can change into very different things, but we all believe in one thing though, is that human are, well, ambiguous, and we are customer centric. So we serve human first. We don't think too much on the numbers, but we need to make things viable and be feasible, but we want to make things desirable. So that's kind of the design thinking background. So a little bit along the way, that's kind of why I shifted my business from offline, which is not viable, business viable business viable at that time. It's feasible, it's not viable, to something that's like addressing a pain. You're stuck at home, I don't know what to do in the weekends. To creating a pack of DIY watch experience that I can ship straight to your house. So yeah, so that's kind of, you can kind of see that I'm putting the design thinking into a small company of mine, which I have full control. So in a bigger environment, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. So I do run workshops where it's like, if you're not just selling a product, sometimes it can be applied as a lifestyle because we individually can be looked at as a product. One of the most powerful homework I've ever done in Stanford is to run all the design thinking and business toolkits with me being the product. So I need to do strategic positioning. I need to do that, figure out what my own value add to the customer, which is my boss or potential employee. And then also on need analysis, like what are the needs? What needs am I fulfilling? What desires am I fulfilling? Are there any barriers that's stopping others from talking to me or to work with me or to even be afraid of initiating a conversation with me when I'm at the head of my company now? So it's very interesting. So design thinking is something I strongly encourage you guys to go look up on it, but it's going to be a wide space. Just keep in mind it's always about customer centric and it's always iterative. With these two mindset in your head, then you can kind of see why the different frameworks, you always have some sort of loop, like agile, like lean, they always have some sort of loop, but at the end of the day, there is always one piece that's going to be about the customer needs and the behavior.
Right, great. Thank you. Thank you for help me at least to understand design thinking in this short period of time. So thank you, Quinn. Okay, now we will. I know many of us watch Hong Kong movie before, and Hong Kong movie is one